Hey guys, welcome back to Lindasresinroom. So what I thought we would do today is use this droozy edge mold. It's a tray mold, and do a bloom in the center. Because I was talking to a lady on Instagram. I don't remember her name. I'll look it up when I get my other phone later, and I'll tell you at Gmold or when we do our next section. And she was telling me she loved the droozy edges and she loved the blooms. So, girl, we're going to do this for you today because I love doing blooms. And I love this mold, and I think I've only used it a couple of times. So it gives me the opportunity to use it again. What I'm going to do today is use my craft resin. This is a 1-to-1 resin, A part B. It's labeled on the lid. All of craft resin labels there's on the lid, which is awesome. It's low viscosity. Yeah, it is odorless. There's no box in it, no BPA. It says non-flammable, bubble-free, non-toxic. I love this resin. I've had this resin for a very, very long time, and it still isn't yellow. So it stays a lot. It resists yellow a lot longer than some. So I thought we would do that, and it makes a beautiful bloom. It heats up very quickly. It is a low viscosity resin. So when you need a low viscosity, this is a good one to use. But also, I wanted to let you guys know they have a Facebook page. It's called Craft Resin Community, I think is what it's called. And they do contests all the time. So, I didn't win the stitch contest, but I had fun making my little stitch piece. But I did win the 27,000 followers. There was 3 winners, and I won a gallon of resin. Love it. So glad to have this. And I won their 30-pack mica powders. So we're going to take the opportunity in this video also and show you guys what they sent me. They sent this out within just a couple of days. I was so shocked to see how quick I got this. It was awesome. The only thing I don't like is I know these are bags. And you'll know how I feel about bag mica. Not my favorite thing to use. But I'm working on it because there's some beautiful colors. I'm just a bit clumsy. Oh, well, there is a 10% off coupon I can scan. I do have a 10% off discount code for 15%, actually. I have a 15% discount code that I will flash on the screen for craft resin. Spoon. And all these 30 mica powder colors. Gosh, if I can get them out, there's so many. You have your pearl white, lime, mint. Ooh, that's nice. Gold, apricot, bronze, turquoise, red glow. So there's some glow powders in here. Orange, lavender, magenta, silver, wine red, that's another glow, green glow, chocolate brown, blue, crimson, oh, magic blue, that's going to be pretty. It's got a purple tint to it. Yeah, I'm not saying that one. Yeah. I could see how I'd pronounce that. Purple glow, emerald green, bubblegum, white. I'm glad to have that one. Cobalt blue, blue glow, olive, lagoon, yellow. It looks more gold to me, but okay. Black, and rouge. So that's the 30 colors that they sent me. I will try them out soon. And hopefully I won't get them everywhere. And then in their kit of a gallon resin, they have contests all the time. Like I said, go join their Facebook group. Learn a lot, meet a lot of people. They have the pumps. There's gloves in there. Stir stick. And then your gallon of part A, part B. And that's what they sent me. But I'm so thankful for that. That is awesome. Just got to move it out of my way because my resin's ready to get out of the debubbler. I have mixed up 67 gram part B, 75 gram of part A, because of, you know, I like to use Julie Cuts from Pouring Your Heart Out's measurement. Still looks like it's got bubbles. Now, I'm a vigorous stir. It's only on the top. And I do go around and try to pop the bubbles that are on the top. I put too much in this cup is what I did, and I had to keep releasing air for the first 5 minutes, because usually this doesn't take that long to degas. Alright, now the colors that I'm going to drop is purplish red, azure blue, and emerald, because I love those colors. They're all from the 48-piece Let's Resin kit. I will put a link for you guys. The link should give you 10% off of any of the Let's Resin products. Okay, I about forgot my cup for my white, guys. No, I don't want that one. Where is my bloom? Okay. Now, I do have to see where my temperature is. I like to decant between 33 and 36. And this resin, the reason I like it for a bloom, it blooms really pretty and it warms up quick. It cures quickly too. It's not one of those resins that are going to take all day to cure. And then I'll have to decide what backing I want to put. See, we're already at 30.4, 30.3. So I'm going to give this just a couple of minutes. It'll finish degassing on its own. You can see it's already done it, or it's already almost there. Then I'll weigh out 20 gram of resin for my white. Use my bloom paste. And we'll get to making a bloom. So I'll see you guys back in a few moments. Alright guys, so it's only been maybe 3 minutes. And we're already at temp. So before you check your temp, make sure to stir your resin. Don't do it vigorous or anything, because you don't want to get bubbles in there. But if you check your temp and it's just been sitting, the top of that's going to be a lot cooler than down in there. So I'm at 37 or 33.7. Well, see what I mean? It's already cooled off. Stir. Check. 34.1. Okay, I'm going to weigh out 20 gram for my white. That's going to be plenty. And I'm not sure I'm going to need all of this. So I have something I really need to use some of it for if I can, because I'm going to do another video. And there's a couple of things you have to make for it. Okay, 20 gram, that's for my white. Just set that to the side. That's a small cup. It's going to take a while to heat up. Now this will cool down when it goes into the mold. Now I may need all of this because that does go down in there, and I need it to get up level, because I need to be able to have enough room on this to do a bloom. You don't need a lot of room. Okay, I'm good. So I do have some left. I'm doing a shaker for another video, so look for that one too, probably after this video. But I got to make a lid. And this mold, all these molds are from Pouring Your Heart Out. Julie Cuts on eBay. You can buy the acrylic blanks from her that fit her shaker mold, and do it that way. But she also has this mold where you can make your own. And to me, it's just easier to make my own every time I need one than to use those. I did buy them. I bought the shaker kit with them when I first bought this, but I got it with the lid as well. And I like doing it better this way. But I haven't made a shaker in a while, so I thought we'd do that in a video. Okay, I've still got a little extra. We'll figure out something for that, but I got my dotting tool because there's going to be a couple of bubbles around the edge of this that I do got to get off. I don't want bubbles on my shaker. This is a dry shaker. Not all shakers do you have to put liquid in, because I made it before and someone had said that shouldn't I have put the liquid in, but it wasn't on this page or anything. I think it was on a Facebook group. But this shaker is not for liquid. I mean, I'm sure you could, but this one's not for that. So this is a dry shaker. Now be very careful with your handmade molds about taking heat. Okay, I am running just a little heat over that. I don't want those bubbles for when I do my bloom. But anyways, there's going to be bubbles down in this droozy. You cannot sit here and pick all those out. I mean, it would take you forever. You can just, I mean, it's going to take forever if you want to get every single bubble out of this. Unless you use a thin resin. And then it's going to be too thin to hold up your bloom. So, I mean, you can go around. I just kind of do this number. I don't try to pluck out specific bubbles and just try to break some of those loose, because you're not going to be able to see it. It is a droozy. It will look like that's how it's made. So it's not going to be an issue. It's the only time you don't care if you have bubbles down in there, right guys? Any other time you'd be, or I know I would, trying to get all the bubbles out. Okay, now I'm just going to pop those. This is the reason that I like to decant my resin early, because of I like to take a little heat to it. It's cool and it cools down a little bit when you do put it in the mold, but it's still going to be heating up. And I like to take my heat gun and try to pop a few of the bubbles as they come up, and then I give it just a second. Now I've got my shaker done for my next video. There's nothing to that, just filling it up with clear resin. What color do I want to put in the center? Let's do purplish red in the center. Okay, 3 drops of that. I think I'm going to do the blue next. This is Azure Blue. And we probably really don't need the green, but I know this is going to pull in. And I don't want to not have any color around the edge of my bloom. And I'm just letting this drip drop on its own. Okay, now you can drop your inks as soon as you decant your resin. You do not have to wait. I'm just slow. And like I said, I take my time. Okay, bloom. Halfway, I've got 20 gram in here, so I'm barely going to squeeze this until it bubbles out on the end and let it drop on its own. And I'm going to do that twice. And that is the perfect amount for a perfect bloom. Where's my stir stick? Still on my cup. I'm so used to throwing it over on my silicone mat over there. I have this orange silicone mat, and it's actually a grill mat for utensils that I got off of Amazon, and it works awesome. It is a good size. It's probably about 16 inches long, maybe 11, 12 inches wide, and it's got places to lay your utensils, so you can actually lay your sticks on there as you're using them, and any resin that drips off on that mat, it peels right off. So when I'm using the sticks, I lay them there and they'll drip and drain. And then I clean them off and throw them over there just to keep them off my mat after I've cleaned them up, so I want to use them again. But I'll link it in the comments for you guys. I'm going to do an everyday use items section, I think, and put that there. Now make sure your white is good and mixed. You don't want it streaky. And white paste can always be streaky. You can always miss a spot. See on the stick there? If you don't get that mixed in good, you're going to have a streaky white. White is the worst I find to be streaky. Now doing a bloom, you can draw it in with a stick. You can pour it with your cup. You can use a piping bag and pipe it however you like. I'm just going to pour it today. I haven't done a bloom in a while. I think the last bloom I did was my yellow tray table that I absolutely love. I had posted it on my Facebook page and said it was my greatest creation, and my sister posted back and told me I had forgot about my gigantic turtle, that was my greatest creation, not my table. She had seen it in person at my other sister's house, and she couldn't believe it. I'm going to have to make her one for Christmas. She'll never know because she don't watch my videos. She does nails, and she stays too busy with nails. She's a case manager in a federal prison, and then when she gets off from there, she goes to her nail business. And then on her days off, she does her nails, except for Sunday. Sunday's church day. All right. I'm going to fix that. Do you see where there was a bubble? I'm going to fix that color. Just don't like the hole. Even though I'm going to be moving these around anyways. Alright guys, when I do this, I pinch my cup, put my paper towel up under the cup, I fold it in half and just put it up under there to help catch my drips. Because if you drip, every drip is going to be a blob. And then I just start out and I pour. And my white's already getting pretty thick. My hole's kind of small. So I'm just going to release a little pressure to make my white pour out a little better. I was holding it too tight and my white didn't want to come out. So you just release a little pressure on this. I'm going to go right along the edge of that green. And that's where I'm going to stop. Now you know I like to go through and just put a few little swirls. So I like the way that this does. And then I got my drip. And I didn't drip in there. Okay. Now I'm going to let that cure up. And I still have a little white left. You can see that down in there. I'll pour it in my dump mold. Okay, I like a dotting tool for this. The dotting tool is not sharp enough to cut my mold if I accidentally touch it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a basic pattern, which is a clock pattern. I can already see it blooming. And you go in from 9. Now guys, if you like, you can wipe this off between every time. In from 9, in from 3. I usually don't wipe it because I like the way it looks. Then you do 12. And you do 6. Then you cut the difference here. And here. And here. And here. Now you can leave it at that. You can pull out on each one. I like smaller petals, so I cut the difference again. And this time I'm not going to clean my stick. I'm just going to see if I can get some of that blue on the edge, because usually you'll get a blue or the green or whatever you've pulled through last. And I think it's really pretty that way. Okay, and then I don't go all the way. If I go all the way, these are too small, they blob. So I start up about, I go down a little more than halfway, and I just pull these out. I don't have the steadiest hand, So mine kind of get a little jagged, I guess you could say. But I'm okay with that. I think I've ended up going down too far. That's okay. If we blob, we blob. I've got a tape on my arm. And then for the center, because all of that we've kind of pushed together, that's why you want to swirl. So I just start in the center and I swirl out to where all those little pieces are. And then I swirl back in. And that's it. We will let this cure up. I'm probably going to find a pink or probably a red. I think a red will look really pretty behind this to pull out that red color in the center. Alrighty guys, we're going to let this cure up and then we'll come back and do the backing. So I'll see you guys then. Alright guys, so this is cured up, touch dry. So we're going to put our backing on it. I have 95 grams of resin mixed. Well, I haven't mixed it yet. I wanted to put my mica powder in there first. I'm going to use the Lindasresinroom to back this up to try to pull some of that red out of the center. I think it's going to end up looking like a Christmas coaster maybe, but that's okay. Christmas will be here in no time. Just going to dash a little bit of that down in there. I think that should be enough, hopefully. Alright, well, let's get this mixed up and see what kind of color we get, if it's what I want. Okay. Just scraping this to get it off the sides. So you can see how that mica powder gets right on the sides of that cup. You don't want dry mica powder flying around in your piece. It'll leave a little speck, a little dust-looking speck. Well, not pretty. And they stand out. Very noticeable. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think it needs a little more. You can still kind of see through it. And I'm not going to make this very big. I'm not going to fill the whole mold up. And I don't know that I'll use all 3 ounces either. So, okay, put my mica powder down in there. Let's see if this is any better. It's a beautiful color. I do feel like we're going to be looking like Christmas. I love the color green. And I tend to put green in a lot of stuff. I try to avoid it just because I feel like I use it all the time. Okay. Much better. Alright guys, I'm going to get this mixed up, get it in the debubbler because I think I got it working. And I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, got my resin out of the debubbler. Now, I just want to put a coat around this. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to use it all, but I'll probably use most of it. I want to completely cover it, but I don't want this to end up being a huge piece. So I think that's all I'm going to put on it. We want it to kind of float into all the edges. Just to make sure it's covering all the clear area. And I think it is. Alrighty guys. We will let that cure up. I've got something else I'm going to dump this in. That needs a little more resin. It's a little dump turtle tray. We could do it with this one, I suppose, since it's not with anything else. I just put green in him just a few minutes ago because I had some leftover resin. So he's definitely going to be a Christmassy turtle, isn't he? just want those areas covered. However else this mixes, and it may look ugly. I don't know. We'll see. It just needs to be full. There we go. We'll demold him when we demold this. Alright, now let's just put whatever's left in here. Get an extra without knowing you was going to have an extra, other than my blue turtle there that I took, and I think he goes in this. I don't remember. Anyways, I think I had clear resin left, and I put some blue mica powder in. So I'm pretty sure I did it in this video. So he's going to be in this video, and not the whichever one if he was in something else. Little turtle. Alright, just get all this stripped off. Alright, got all that out of there. I'm going to clean this off. Just spritz it with some alcohol and it'll wipe right off. Good deal. But, sorry guys, I didn't mean to bump the camera. This looks like it's not mixed up very well. I don't know if it's bubbles or if it's just not mixed up very well. So I'm just going over the top and mixing it because I don't want that to be sticky and uncured. Yeah, that's what that is. So, using those spoons that scrape everything out, it makes me wonder if I'm getting uncured resin that I didn't mix up when I was mixing it, even though I was scraping the sides and all of that, just because of that gets every little drop and every little corner. Alright guys, we'll let this stuff cure up. We'll come back for a demold. See you guys then. Alright, so these have cured up enough that I think I can demold them. They're still going to be soft, so when I store them, I'm going to leave them upside down. I don't want them to pick up this shape of this Teflon mat, but I also might put them on some silicone and just let them cure up on the silicone. Let's see how this two-colored turtle comes out. Oh, it reminds me of Christmas. It's green and red. There we go. I'm not crazy about it, but he's just a dump, so I'm going to pull out this silicone mat and lay him up right there. I'm going to turn him this way though, and let him just cure up there. Now I'll have to put this shaker turtle together, and I will make him a shell out of some UV resin. I'm going to put a seashell and maybe some crushed shell down in here, and then put him together. I'll just show you in the picture, and he doesn't need trimmed at all. That mold is great for that. But I will just post a picture of him completed in the at the end of the video. Now, can I get it? You can see it's soft, and so I don't want to damage it. And I'm too curious to see what it looks like. I can't wait till tomorrow. Oh, that's beautiful. Love it. It's more of a purple than a red. Maybe I should have done a purple, but that is really pretty. Really like that. And no blobbing. He's a little sticky on the back. I gotta set him down. Alright guys, I am going to demold this in my video with my shaker because I don't want to get it dirty. So, that is it for this video. I will see you guys back for the next video. Bye for now.